Give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
Yeah. I did not make the same mistake twice. I think I actually put a post up last night that said, look both ways before you cross me. And I should have looked both ways before I crossed the street. Family, what's going on? I made the mistake. I made an error by hitting the mute button in this stream. And I'm glad it happened because I got a text. I had turned my phone over because I somewhat was going to have to ignore my grandson because he was hitting me up. So I turned my phone over and so I wouldn't be distracted because when he calls, I try to answer. But then I had a text on the phone and then I had a phone call and it actually pertained to what I was already talking about. So family, please understand the lack of professionalism was totally on me. I don't have anybody else to blame, real shit. I don't have anybody else to blame. I can come up a little bit more. But this smithing that we about to talk about, it's all about people's names, last names being Smith. And before we get into that, that's what we hear about. We hear about this. And I want people to understand when I bring something to the table, Sister Kelly Pryor, appreciate you picking me up on YouTube. Any family that jumps in here, please make yourself known by a comment. I'm not looking at all the screens right now because I don't have everything synced in just yet. I got a new portal that I'm working from just to make sure that this is going to come through crystal clear. If there's any audio or video difficulties, technicalities, whatever that go bad, please let me know. Some of y'all got my direct line. Hit me on the hip, as we used to say back in the day, because I want to make sure that it's right. I'm glad that I had my sis on the back end telling me that I'm muted, but my phone was turned upside down, so it took me a while. I went in about 15 minutes, so we gonna rekindle that. And I got another log to throw in the fire, so it ain't even gonna be like I feel like I'm saying the same thing twice, because I'm actually gonna be saying it for the first time because I have a little bit more knowledge on something. But this whole Smith thing, based on the last names of several individuals, so we gonna get at it. And we're going to talk about it, because where I'm at in this thing is I've got to have a reason to even light this thing up right now. I'm not like a lot of these big casters that I'm chasing that super chat, that I'm chasing the donations. Not that Freedman Media won't be seeking revenue, not that Relationship won't be seeking revenue. And let me go on and get that up there before we jump back into this. Let me get the banner up there, because that needs to run too. Make sure if you have not subscribed to Freedman Media on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, make sure you subscribe. I don't like the term followers, because that term tends to, make me feel some kind of way. I like subscribers. So if you have subscribed to the channels, please do so. But also subscribe to my new Relationship page, and that's with 2 T's, Relationship. I had to work to get it approved through a couple other channels. A couple people didn't like it, so I'm not everywhere just yet, but I'm working on it. They reviewing it. They didn't like the shit part. But, it is what it is. There's too many relationship channels out there. So I want it to be Relationship, 2 T's, and it's the Relationship YouTube channel right now, and we're developing the other pages, just waiting for some approvals on some things. So we're going to get at this thing talking about the Smith name. Now, I know several Smiths. Sister Kelly, you probably know several Smiths, and the Smith name is one of the most popular surnames in the English-speaking language, particularly common amongst those English, Scottish, and Irish heritage. Now, I know some Smiths that are of the light-skinned pigmentation, but most of the Smiths I know are black folks. Some of y'all would call them African Americans. I prefer to call people American freedmen if they are such. And they were given their names by their enslavers. So when we talk about the name Smith and where it comes from, a lot of people that look like me probably got their name from their enslaver. Smith dates back to the Anglo-Saxon era and derives from the occupation of smith, from the Old English smid, which means to hit or to strike, because that's what they did during slavery, and was used to describe someone who worked in metals, like locksmith, blacksmith. There was all types of smiths, logsmith. There was all types of smiths, right? The Smith surname would have been given to those with a connection to the occupation in the era before surnames were inherited. Now, they like to use that inherited. We didn't inherit name Smith. American freedmen or our ancestors who were enslaved did not inherit those names. They gave us those names because they owned us. So when they like to sexy the stuff up, it's kind of like homeless people being called unhoused. They want to say we inherited those names. No, we didn't inherit a motherfucking thing. They gave us those names because they owned us. Due to the occupational nature of this surname, there are many diverse branches of the Smith family, and there is believed to be no common line of origin to be traced back to. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. There is an actual common line of origin that it can be traced back to, and it's called chattel slavery. So say what you want to say, do what you want to do. Brother Brian Simpson, I'm on you, bro. I'm on you. Never liked that term. Never liked that term, but we rolled with it for so long because it was just commonplace. But I can no longer be seen as an African American. I don't even particularly like to use the term black person when I see everybody else being able to be called black. I don't see anything wrong with it, me or my people who might be American freedmen. But when you let somebody else come into this country and have blackness, that's wrong. So I want off of that, just like I want off of POC, just like I want off of BIPOC. I want off of that. So, Sister Free, what's going on? Appreciate you keeping me up on some things. But that's what we're going to be talking about here. That's what we're going to be talking about, the Smith name. But before I do that, I got to jump into some house cleaning. And, you know, I'm trying to talk like the big time casters out there. They say, we're going to do a little house cleaning. Well, I got to do a little house cleaning. And my house is my village. And my village is Washtenaw County. Washtenaw County is where I live. Ann Arbor, Michigan was where I was born and raised. And I've lived all throughout this county. There's only a couple places, couple actual cities in Washtenaw that I have not lived. But I live in a place called Pittsfield now, which is right outside of a city called Ypsilanti. A lot of people can't spell Ypsilanti, Ypsilanti. It's Ypsilanti, not Ypsilanti, but we say Ipsy here, okay? So I got to do a little house cleaning about Ipsy right now. Because this came across my table, actually came across my phone this morning, okay? Came across my phone this morning, and it's a problem. Yeah, we got a problem here. We got a problem here? Yeah, we got a problem here, okay? Because an individual who put the work in to have a organic food pantry, clothes closet, and whatever else resource you need, because I heard you could even leave like notes and stuff if you needed help and they could get with you off the set or on the back channels. But for some reason, the city of Ypsilanti has seen its way to the Love Stand. And thank you, Tina Pohana, for putting this up, because the Love Stand is coming down. You hear me? The Love Stand is coming down. By December 4th, they've got to disassemble the Love Stand, and the people who have been taken care of by food and clothing and other resources that were needed, they're no longer going to be able to take advantage of the Love Stand. Why? Preliminary indications is because of the people who own the block. Now, I know a lot of black folks done talked over the last several months, several years about buying the block. But you know what? You can't buy the block if it's already owned by white supremacists. And the white supremacists that own this block are the Frenches. In particular, Linda French, okay? Linda French is the person that actually owns Sidetrack, Frenchies, and that whole corridor on that side of the street. On the other side of the street, her brothers own Aubrey's and Sticks and all that stuff. They got a lot of businesses down in that area, okay? Same family, a lot of money, and they own the block. But where this sits, where the Love Stand sits, is behind Linda French's restaurant called Sidetrack. So everybody is actually putting it on right now. The Ypsilanti pages letting everybody know what's going on, Sister Cody, Sister Chandra. What's going on? They're letting people know they suspect, or they may actually have knowledge of this being Linda French's undoing, because she's so deep in the city government politics. City council bows down to her. The mayor of Ypsi bows down to her. Anybody around Washtenaw County pretty much bows down to her. She has wine and does other things with Debbie Dingell. She's big. She's had Jim Clyburn at her place. She's had Joe Biden at her place. She's big shit around Ypsilanti. But the problem is, Ypsilanti ain't about big shit. Ypsilanti is about the people. It's about the people that put things like the Love Stand on the map. On the map. See, this was a village long before I got here, and hopefully it will be a village long after I leave here. But they've tried to turn it into some type of metropolitan area, and act like we're something that we're not around these parts. I can't stand the shit that's going on in Ann Arbor. Don't like the shit that's going on in Ypsilanti and everywhere around. People came here because of the small town fare, but now they want to turn it into a major metropolitan area. If you want major metropolitan, move east. Go to the city. Go to the city. Because they done pushed all the people out of the city. And when they talk about affordable housing in Detroit, it's 1,200 and up. And they're going to do the same thing to Ypsi. They at least going to try. They're going to try to do the same thing to Ann Arbor if actually they're already doing it. But this situation right here is catastrophic because as we approach the holidays, and y'all know I don't really fuck with the holidays like that, but since I got family and I got kids and I got grandkids, I got to go along with it and, do my thing with it. So with the holidays coming up and people not having what they've had, with us just getting past the pandemic, with us just getting outside of the high end of COVID, now we've got RSV creeping into our midst. People don't have it, y'all. People aren't the same, y'all. And places like the Love Stand, a place where a person can come feel comfortable to be able to pick up food and clothing and secure other resources, is being told, no, you can't. You got to shut this down. This is no good because it's doing some good. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. And when we let politicians run our lives, they'll run us into the grave. I've tried to tell people long enough. If we elect them, we tell them what to do. They don't tell us what to do, but everybody ain't on that. So I'm waiting till January, till everybody goes through their swearing in so they can get sworn in to tell the lies that they want to tell, and we're going to put shit on point. The city of Ypsilanti is 70% renters. 70% renters. And the city of Ypsilanti is over 50% Black residents live under the poverty line. If you don't like that math, rock with me after January 1st. If you like the way things are in Ypsi, keep hating on the posts, keep talking in the back channels, or pull up. Because I'm asking you to pull up. I already told you, I ain't out here by myself. Y'all only see me on camera, but I'm not out here by myself. I'm ready for you. Pull up. What we're going to do here is break down the Smiths, but I had to put this in play. I had to put this in play. The Love Stand is being torn down as of December 4th. I'm not sure whether they'll be able to erect it again, but the fact that it's being torn down at this unique time of the year, the holiday season, lets you know the hate and the disdain that people who own all those properties around that area must have for the people who have the Love Stand standing right now. And I have to start with Linda French. I have to start with Jessica French. I don't know the brothers and the uncle of Jessica. I don't know them, but they all family, so they all going into this boat. They all going into this boat. Because if they thought about tearing that thing down, somebody should have been the voice of reason and said, that helps people. But they don't want to help people. They want to hurt people. And that's why they've been brought up on the charges and they've been tried and they've been convicted of all the illicit business practices that they were. I will not be taken down. I cannot be taken down for slander because it's in the courts, it's in the records, and there was a guilty verdict. And from what I know now, there's been a settlement paid out. I'm saluting everybody that got the bag from the Frenches. Y'all ain't gonna be able to just do this no more. It took us long enough to find each other. Now we've galvanized. Now we've assembled. Now we're about to run people like the Frenches out of town. Or if we don't run them out of town because they are so opulent and they own so many businesses, we can make sure that it's very difficult for people to want to eat in their establishments because of the people that they are. That's where we are at. Uh-oh, we got people talking about the Frenches in the chat. We got people talking about the Frenches in the chat. The Frenches are so deep in local officials' pockets, they won't get that. See, it ain't just me out here talking, y'all. It ain't just me out here talking. I know y'all think that I'm in an echo chamber, but most people that watch my videos don't agree with me. They just not brave enough to step up. But these are people that have been marginalized. These are people that have been compartmentalized by the Frenches. Ain't nobody gonna get on this cast here today and talk against somebody if they don't have no skin in the game or if they haven't been directly or indirectly affected by the Frenches. But no, they'll put the Black Lives Matter signs up there. They'll sit all the Negroes by the window so it makes it look like it's a safe place to eat. You do know they strategically put the black people around the window so it makes it look like they are a diverse company. Y'all do know that. That's one of their business practices. That's one of their business practices. Well, if they like black people so much, how come you don't really ever see no black servers or no black bartenders? If you want to see black folks at Sidetrack, you better hit them kitchen doors. You better hit the kitchen doors because they back there cooking and they back there washing dishes. Yeah. Cutting potatoes, slicing meat. That's where black folks are in the French's eyes. Out of sight, out of mind. But we'll hire them to be the help. We'll hire them to be the help. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. So that had to come up. That had to come out. The love stand has been given a date of December 4th to disassemble. I don't know where it's going to end up in the city of Ypsilanti. Hopefully not too far so they can put the post up and people can find them and they can still secure food and clothing and other resources. But shame on you, Ypsilanti. As if you don't have something better to do. You get rid of something like this, but you want to salute all the other bullshit that's going around in the town. Where is the dream team on this? Where is Annie Somerville on this? Does Annie Somerville still live in the block? She was a part of the block as a resident for years. She was a part of Linda French's staff. Where is she on this? How come she's not speaking up against this? Why? Because she's been elevated. She's now a county commissioner. She's no longer just a lowly city council person. She's a county commissioner. And we're going to be talking about county commissioners in a bit too. Not today. We ain't going to convolute this space because this is about the Smiths. But before I had to talk about the Smiths, I had to talk about the Frenches. Yeah. Had to talk about the Frenches. Linda's something else, y'all. She's something else. I don't know too many people that got one Tesla. She got Teslas in all her places where she lives. Y'all know that? She got that kind of money. I got a Tesla here. I got a Tesla there because I got a house here and I got a house there. Y'all know that? Not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. Some people are going to be like, why is that your business? Because she's telling the love stand that they can't do business. You can sit on high, but these people, they can't sit at all? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So it is what it is. So where I'm at on this Smith thing, we're going to get into this because what's happened over the last several days, several weeks, several months, we've had some individuals named Smith who haven't acted the way I've needed them to act, at least to be able to keep them out of my mouth, okay? I don't talk about people that aren't worthy. I talk about people that are worthy to be talked about, whether it be a positive or a negative thing. And the first person I want to talk about as a Smith is this individual, okay? I'm not going to be long because it doesn't mean much to rehash why he's up there crying after he received the Oscar for the Best Actor Award for portraying Venus and Serena Williams' daddy. I thought it was one of his most profound movies. I love when he plays those biopics because he really digs into the role. All of his accents aren't always right on, but he's good enough to do it. He's a strong enough actor to pull it off. He's not trying to fool you and make you think that he's somebody else. You know it's Will Smith. But this act, this night, he lost me because I actually supported the fact that he was sticking up for his wife at first. Then I had to dig a little deeper into this whole situation, and I didn't realize that Jada Pinkett has been holding one of these motherfuckers for about, I don't know how long she been gaslighting Will. But she been gaslighting Will for a lot of years. When I started to hear the stuff about her having this endless love for Tupac, and I'm like, wait a minute. This man took you off the street. She might as well been just like that girl and set it off. I'm in a bind, Nate. Because she was in a bind, Will. And Will took her off the street, elevated her. She wouldn't have had enough money to survive for the rest of her days with what she was doing. She married a superstar. Will is a superstar. And I knew about him long before he made The Fresh Prince, before he made any movies. I was rocking Will Smith back in 1986. I still listen to Rock the House. Well before y'all started listening to him when he was Big Willie style. Big Willie style was off at that point. My kids was listening to him at that point. I was listening to him rock the house with DJ Jazzy Jeff. So me and Will go back long time. But this Will, I don't know this Will. But I guess he coming back with some new motion pictures, some new specials. So he's got to start doing the talk show circuit. Got his ass up on Trevor Noah's show and got to crying. You cried at the Oscars, bro. We done seen you make your podcast. You cried then. Now you got, see, this is what I have. I have a problem. I've got a problem when you try to come back in with all that. He did it that night, and he should have been crying that night because he was embarrassing. He was embarrassing to the American Freedmen Collective. If y'all want to say African American Collective, that's on y'all. But he's an American freedman, and he was embarrassing to us that night. His wife, I put 100% of the blame outside of him getting out of that seat and switching up there to Chris Rock and hitting him. Everything leading up to that, I put on her. Because she's detrimental. She's dangerous. Jada Pinkett is dangerous. She's shown how dangerous she can be, how detrimental she could be. And he's now come back and he's on the scene and he's working this talk show circuit and he's crying. If he's going to do every interview and start breaking down and crying, he might as well ride off into the sunset because we ain't trying to hear that. Women might want to see that shit, but I don't know. No man is going to sit through an interview of his and watch him fucking cry every time. I don't get it. I'm just telling you, I don't get it. So Will needs to stop that. This next individual, Stephen A. Smith. I think the A actually stands for asshole, but I've never really looked it up to see what it stands for. I'm going to be going in on him simply because he deserves it. I'm not going to play the audio that everybody has heard of him defending race soldier, Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones. He defended Jerry Jones like it was his daddy. It was one of the most embarrassing moments in captivity. I mean, I get it. He clowns for the cameras. He clowns for the mics. He's the highest paid individual at ESPN. I get it. But for him to actually say what he said about Jerry Jones, I mean, the whole time he was talking, all I could imagine was him gargling Jerry Jones' wrinkled ass testicles. Because that's what it felt like to me. That's exactly what it felt like to me. He was gargling old balls. His paymasters, I get it. That's what they need to get the ratings. I get it. But as a black man, and see, this is where the American freedmen and immigrants separate. If he was an American freedman, he wouldn't be going at it this way. I know we've got Shaquille. I know we've got Charles Barkley. I know we've got all of them, but this ain't about them. This is about the Smiths today. This is about the Smiths today. What about Ben Harbor, Brother Simpson? What about Ben Harbor? Only thing I got on Ben Harbor right now is that Brother Sinbad is struggling after having a stroke, and hopefully he gets well, gets back on his feet, and tells another joke. He's been a solid comedian for over 30 years, over 40 years. And right now he's struggling, learning how to do everything all again after he had a stroke. So shout out to Brother David Atkins, known as Sinbad. Come with that, Ben Harbor. And hopefully, so just so you know, y'all probably think I'm like just talking to myself. I don't be remembering to put all my stuff up. So let me go ahead and put my stuff up. Let me just run through the comments real quick. Appreciate you. See, he said I never liked that term, African American. You're right. Free to free in the joint. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support. 100% worked for her for years. She's evil. That's talking about Linda French. That's Linda French they're talking about. Shout out to Sister Cody. The term freedman has a much better ring to it, and it's a lot more representative as to what we are. Absolutely, because we are politically classified as such. It is not a moniker. It is not a handle. It is not a nickname. It is who we are. We have about 5 of them in one city, and people use them a lot. Businesses actually have fridges outside of their businesses to help people. See, and he's in Indiana. OG Classic Jones is in Indiana, and they got that there. But all of a sudden, we can't have that here. It's being torn down because Linda French and Jessica French are evil. That's why it's being torn down. Frenches are so deep in local officials' pockets they get away. I don't think that the local officials' pockets are that deep. I think they might be filled, but I don't think they're that deep. The little trinkets that the Frenches give them, it pushes their envelope. I get it. It moves their needle. I get it. But I don't think their pockets are all that deep. Banging in Little Rock, coming on in. Queen Cosetta, welcome to the stream. Now I'm caught up on all the comments. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm terrible about putting these things up. I'm going to get me a mod so I can have them comments go up, because I get going in and I be forgetting to put it all up. I don't try to be negligent. I'm a rookie at the whole streaming this way type of thing. It's usually just the one-man band, because I'm the one-man Shan, and I'm in here by myself. So I'm not going to keep making excuses. I'm going to have somebody else controlling them comments. When they pop up, we'll put them out. But yeah, Mr. Stephen A., he worked my nerves when he defended Jerry Jones like that was his grandpappy. I mean, it was embarrassing. It was insulting. And if you haven't already yet, subscribe to Freedman Media on YouTube. Subscribe to Relationship on YouTube. That is Relationship, not ship, 2 T's. Yeah, they let me do it. They put me through the ringer on it, but they let me get it up. And I should be streaming on that right now, just because I wanted to see if it would actually go through. Uh-oh, we got somebody coming through here. Appreciate the new subscriber. Just got a notification. That's somebody I've never even seen. That's beautiful. Stephen Daniel. Don't know exactly who that is, Brother Alexander, but if you want to expound on that, we'll put that up. We'll talk about that. But let me get back to Stephen A. Stephen A., he's detrimental to Black folks, because he talks against us more than he talks with us, for us, talks against us. But that's part of his job, so I get it. But when he started defending Jerry Jones, when he defended something that was so detrimental, I mean so detrimental, it hurt. And it's a great segue to this. The person on the left is the bottom circle on the right. The person on the left is the bottom circle on the right. He is 82-year-old Harold Smith. Harold Smith. Harold Smith was one of the individuals trying to get into that Little Rock High School back in 1957. The top circle is race soldier in training, Dallas Cowboy future owner Jerry Jones. Now, I know that there's been people out here that have said Jerry Jones was innocent because he didn't do anything. He's not even up front. But Jerry Jones ain't innocent in this, y'all. Jerry Jones had already been given a direct order by his football coach to not go out there and try to block any black students that were coming into that high school, because it was now legal for blacks to go to that high school. But Jerry Jones is 1, 2, 3, 4 people behind. If he was just out there looking, why was he so close to the front? I mean, he ain't got a cigarette hanging outside his mouth like that first miscreant. He's not yelling. He's not snickering like that one to the far left. But he's still in there listening to what's going on, and he's only the 4th to 5th person back after being given a direct order by his football coach that North Little Rock High School had been integrated and those kids were not to be bothered. But he chose to go anyway. He chose to follow the crowd because he was only 15 at the time, sophomore, I believe, where this individual was a senior in high school, Harold Smith. And he blocked Harold and blocked, there was 4 or 5 others, and I think I misquoted or misstated that this was a part of the Little Rock 9. No, it was a part of the Little Rock 9 time frame, but they were at a whole nother school. But there was the Little Rock 9, and there were these people, and but there was so much detriment. And I don't know why they just labeled it as the Little Rock 9, because there was many of black kids who were denied entry to these schools after they had been legally integrated. And Harold Smith was one of them. He was one of them. And Jerry Jones was one of the blockers. Not on the football team, a blocker of children trying to get an education just like he was getting. And the problem with that is that goes all the way back to slavery. All the way back to slavery. When they denied us the opportunity to read, they beat us, they brutalized us, and they murdered us. If we learned how to read, write, count, spell, have any type of education about us, they brutalized us, or worse. And that's because they could. I know people say, well, it was legal back then. Yeah, it was immoral back then. This was immoral then, and that's why we're talking about it. But the problem didn't just lie with what Jerry Jones did, because we're not here to talk about the Joneses. We ain't trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know you old if you heard that saying before. We ain't trying to keep up with the Joneses. We trying to keep up with the Smiths today. And the Smith I'm trying to keep up with is Harold Gene Smith. 82-year-old Harold Gene Smith. Harold said, if I had any animosity, I don't now. I've forgiven him, whatever reason he was there for. He was there to brutalize you, Harold. And as an elder, I'm trying to be respectful, but it's really hard being respectful to a motherfucker who doesn't understand that he was being disrespected. He was disrespected. He disrespected you, Harold, and he disrespected everybody else that tried to enter that school for those days before and days after. Because I don't believe that Jerry was just there that day. I bet you Jerry was there every day. Every day that there was a crowd out front, I bet you Jerry Jones was a part of it. We only got this picture here. We only got this verification here. We only got this authenticated image here. But I bet you Jerry was out there every day because the football coach gave a direct order for his football players to not go out there. And Jerry wasn't even a big man on campus. He was a 15-year-old, scrawny little sophomore, and he went out there. That lets you know he was with the shits too. Jerry was with the shits. If he wasn't with the shits, he never would have went out there. He was with the shits. With that being said, Harold knows he was with the shits, and he says he's forgiven him. Okay, you forgave him. What about all the other kids across Little Rock that day? Did you forgive those people too who were brutalized, had things thrown at him? I know he had stuff thrown at him. Somebody even said in that crowd, they said they reached out because they wanted to touch him. They reached out because they wanted to see what a nigger felt like. It's all documented. You can Google all that shit. They wanted to touch one of the 6 kids trying to get into North Little Rock High because they wanted to feel what a nigger felt like. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jerry's camp definitely got to Stephen A. Jerry's the most powerful owner in the NFL. Jerry is basically the commissioner of the NFL. Pretty much whatever Jerry Jones says, all the other owners say. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But you got Harold Gene Smith out here forgiving Jerry for what he did. And he said, you don't judge people by the past. You don't? You don't? What you judge them by? You judge them by the present? Colin Kaepernick, Harold. You know Jerry's relationship to Colin Kaepernick? Yeah. And he also went on to say that the Dallas Cowboys is his favorite team. Bro. That just so happens to be your favorite team, Harold. Really, Harold? That's your favorite team? The Dallas Cowboys? Really, Harold? I'm really trying not to call Harold a coon. I'm really trying hard not to. I'm not gonna call him a coon. I'm not gonna call him a coon. But you know I'm thinking it. Oh yeah, you know I'm thinking it. Yeah. He said, you don't judge people by their past. So if I judge Jerry by his present, ain't shit happening different from 1957 to now. And I know that a lot of people like to go to that Jerry has helped out a lot of black men. Are we talking about the players that he pays millions of dollars to help him make billions of dollars? Who's really getting helped? I mean, he employs people that are talented, that are gifted, that are big, strong, and powerful and can play a game. And he makes billions of dollars off of it. Who's really being helped? Because if you're going to tell me that he's helped out a lot of black people by doing that, why didn't Jerry just go on and get all white players? Because that don't sell in the NFL. Black sells. Run, nigga, run sales. If Jerry could have a team and think he can win with all white players, trust me, that's what he would do. That's what he would do. But he can't. You need that speed. You need that strength. That's what you need. And you get that from a black player, from an American freedman. And I know that there's NFL players out here that are not all from this soil, but predominantly they are. Yeah, predominantly. So that's a problem. Harold Gene Smith is a problem. It's why a lot of youngins don't listen to the old heads because of this type of behavior. Yeah, I believe in giving people second chances, but motherfucker, I'm not going to give you a second chance to let you do the same shit to me. And as far as I'm concerned, Jerry's race soldiering really hasn't dissipated since 1957. With what he did with the Colin Kaepernick situation, he let us know, I'm still in pocket with the race soldiering. If you don't think so, show me different. Show me different. Appreciate that. New subscriber. Got another one. Well, I guess when I ask for him, I get him. Maybe I need to ask for more. So, Harold, you can go bye-bye now because I'm done talking to you. Yeah, I'm done talking to Harold. About Harold. That was just a disgrace yesterday with that Kanye West, Kim Kardashian thing. If Kanye West was a billionaire, and he's not a billionaire anymore, so that means his net worth is lower, and Kim Kardashian is still a billionaire, why is Kanye West paying Kim Kardashian 200 racks a month? That's $50,000 a kid. I'm not trying to get in Kanye's pockets. I'm not trying to get in Kim Kardashian's pockets. But if she makes more money than him and her worth is more than his, why is he paying $50,000 per kid? $50,000 per kid. That's $12,500 a week per kid. Why is Kanye paying that? I get it. They basing it off of his income. Or are they basing it off his current income, or are they basing it off his past income? Because them papers got filed when he was still a billionaire. Now he's not a billionaire anymore. Maybe they need to do that. Maybe they need to come down a taste on that. Because if he was a billionaire and now he done lost about $1.5 billion and he's only got $500 million left, maybe he should only be paying $50,000 a month. I mean, your income goes down. He needs to go back before the judge and be like, I need you to check on this. Kanye needs a show cause hearing. I'm just saying. I mean, damn. $200,000. What do you have to do for a child to need $50,000 a month for it? $50,000 a month? And she a billionaire. And she got more money than Kanye. Now, I'm not saying don't take care of your kids, because I think Kanye going to take care of his kids 100. I believe Kanye loves being a father, and I believe he's going to take care of his kids. He wants custody of his kids. He wants to get them out from up under the Kardashian guys. I don't think it'll ever happen. But I mean, geez, $200,000 a month, $50,000 a kid, $12,500 per kid per week. Come on, man. I mean, shit. It is what it is. I guess it is what it is. But yeah, we done with Harold. We done with Harold. Let's take Harold off the set, okay? Because we got to finish up the Smiths. I got to get up out of here. I'm going to try to get up out of here right at an hour. The last Smith is not of the black persuasion. We know Stephen A. is not an American freedman. Will Smith is. Harold Smith is. But this individual that I'm about to put up is not an American freedman. This Smith right here is a Caucasus race soldier, and I can't say he's a race soldier in training because he's killed 3 black men. Yeah, he's killed 3 black men, okay? So he's not a race soldier in training. He's a race soldier. He's a murderous race soldier. And this race soldier killed 3 black people at 17, and they gave him a bail. His name is Caden Smith. Caden with a C. C-A-D-E-N. Caden killed 3 black men. They put him in jail and gave him a bail, and he got out. put a monitor on his ankle. And on his 18th birthday, he decided to go over to a friend's house and smoke some weed and drink some alcohol and fraternize with his friends. I guess that went against his bail contract. I'm not bond contract. I don't know exactly why he was even out. I didn't even know you could actually get a bond if you killed 3 men. I've seen people be out on 1, but that's not usually likely. If they think you really got it, you're a danger to society, you stay in jail. $1 million, no bail. He killed 3, allegedly. Allegedly. He killed 3. Went over to his friend's house. They got a little weed, got a little alcohol, probably had some teenage goers. They were probably over there just partying, fornicating for his 18th birthday. And they came and got his monkey ass. So now he's back in jail. I don't know if they will give him a new bond and a new bracelet or reprogram his old bracelet. But how did he get a bond with 3 bodies on him? 3 bodies. I don't think you should come out if they suspect you of killing anybody. He killed 3 bodies. Now, we do remember Khalif Browder. Khalif Browder was accused of stealing someone's backpack. And Khalif Browder spent 3 years in Rikers Island. 3 years. 2 of those 3 years was in solitary confinement for stealing someone's backpack. VIP. Sister Kelly, he's a VIP. Absolutely. He has got a white card for sure. Khalif Browder spent 3 years in Rikers Island, 2 years in solitary confinement, and eventually killed himself after they had found that he was innocent of stealing the backpack. This boy got a bond when he had 3 bodies on him. This is the American judicial system that so many people choose to not fight. When we talk about repair, and we talk about recompense, we talk about reparations, this is what y'all not fighting for. Because it's not just a check. It's so much more. Because we've got to go in and change the judicial system. Because every time they want to talk to black folks about the judicial system, they want to talk about prison reform. We ain't all in prison, Jack. So we don't need to talk about that shit. Let's talk about the people that are on the street, that are being brutalized, not only by law enforcement, but by card-carrying race soldiers like Caden. That's a hate crime. He killed 3 black folks. He was 3 for 3 on black people. That's a hate crime. The boy that went to Buffalo, that was a hate crime. He was looking for black folks to kill. All the grocery stores between upstate New York and where he came to, he could have went and killed plenty of white folks at a white grocery store, but he came specifically to a black grocery store to check black folks out. That's a hate crime, but he's not being charged with a hate crime. Because we don't have protected status as American freedmen. American Jewish people do. Asians do. Latinos do. Middle Eastern folks do. But American freedmen, shit. Speaking of shit, subscribe to Relationship 2 T's on YouTube. Relationship 2 T's. That's a relationship platform. We're going to be talking about relationships on all levels. On all levels, not just love, not just romantic stuff. Building. Why do race soldiers like Caden hate black folks? At 17, why does he have such disdain? We need to talk about those kind of relationships as well. That's why I'm letting this stream go through. Caden is a race soldier, and he's a race soldier of a dangerous kind. Of a dangerous kind. I appreciate everybody that's checked this stream out. And I appreciate everybody that's been riding with Freedman Media, been riding with me, Shannon, Some of y'all know One Man Shan. I get it. A lot of y'all don't. But One Man Shan has had to come back. I had to dust One Man Shan off because I'm back in it. It's all me here. Shout out to my cousin on the paintings, my artwork. I got some other things that I got to put up. Some things that are some trinkets that Ray and I have had through the years. I'm going to put that stuff. I'm going to have some backdrops. No more green screen. Don't need no green screen. I need to have what my life is about behind me. And my life is about my village, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? It's about Michigan. And that black fist strangling that leaf. Hey, if y'all don't know, you know now. We're going to do some different things in 23. We're going to talk to some different people. You saw different people in the chat today that weren't normally here. I'm sure they'll be back. They'll come back. I'll get some of those people even on the stream because we need to talk about the Frenches and people like them. Every time I open the mic, I need to be doing that. I need to stay in my village, but sometimes I got to leave my village because sometimes the Smiths don't act right. And when the Smiths don't act right, we got to talk about the Smiths. We got to talk about the Smiths. And these Smiths, they ain't acting right. Like I said, various Smiths, nefarious Smiths. From Will to Stephen A. to Harold to Caden. Come on, man. Come on, man. We got to get better out here, people. And I appreciate everybody who keeps me up. If I hadn't got that message, gave me some ammo. It gave me some ammo. And I love when I bring my gun to the gunfight and somebody else supplies me with some bullets. Because I want to be factual out here. I got to be factual. You ain't never going to see me fabricating. You ain't going to never see me embellishing. You'll never see me lying on my stream. If I have been misinformed or if I have misstated or misquoted, I'll always come back and be like, hey, I was wrong. Just like I said, that picture that I had up with Jerry Jones that mimics that one, that was not the Little Rock 9, but it was at North Little Rock High School. But it was during that period. So I have no problem with coming back with the correction. Shout out to my people at A2 Indie. Be doing a lot more work with them. We've got to uncover corruption. We've got to expose lies. We've got to reveal truths. As a people, that's the only way we make change out here. That's the only way we make change out here. And we make change by sticking together and doing the right thing. We ain't got to jump off into nobody's shit the wrong way. Let's do it the right way, because that's the way it works. That's the way it works. Speaking of the way it works, let me see if I can actually bring this up. Give me 1 second. How did this work out? Give me 1 second. It's something actually kind of silly, y'all, but you're going to be, if I can get it right, you're going to be entertained by it. Just because, frankly, I was entertained by it. And I don't usually put stuff like this up if it's not my thing. But this situation was so funny to me. It was so funny to me. Okay, I might be able to do it. Okay, hold on a second. I found this on one of my brother's pages on Facebook, and when I saw it, I damn near peed on myself because it was kind of the way I felt sometimes when I was involved with organized religion. And let me just see if I can actually get this. I'm using a new computer. Things are in a different space. And I've got an upgraded version of StreamYard, so I want to make sure that I'm where I need to be. Okay. I think I'm going to be able to get it. I'm going to try to play this stream. this video, and this video here to me is just one of the funniest things that I have seen in ages. And I watch a lot of stuff all day, all week, all month, all year. But this brother was accosted by the clergy, and he didn't like it. And he spoke his mind. And I loved it. I loved it. Hold on one quick second. Okay. Says I can add it to the screen. There we go. All right. We're gonna ball out with it. There we go. All right. Hopefully the audio comes through. If the audio does not come through, I need to know. I need to know if the audio does not come through.
Shit getting real in church.
I understand his position. Yeah. I'm getting into the position in front of my face right now.
Yeah. Well, the elephant in the room is this, and that.
Elephant in the room.
Yeah, the elephant in the room is that.
Man, I'm alive.
Okay. Well, this we have to deal with the elephant in the room, and the elephant in the
Pastor,
room.
I'm just be honest with you. Look, I'm not going to come up here and give y'all all my money that I make every month. I'm just sorry. I've been fair.
Well, we're not looking for you.
You know, I put $20 a week. Yeah. And then sometimes I feel good.
$20 a week is like giving a dollar.
Did I say something? Is that your 10% of your earnings?
That's my business. That's what it is. You get your 10%. You get your 10%.
I wrote it down what you made.
Look here.
I wrote it what you made.
She wrote what you make, and see, it does not reach.
Well, I got to just find me. I'm not going to let y'all attack me.
Well, we're not.
You know, I know robbery, strong arm.
Let me
do. You know, you ain't gonna rob me, and I'm agree to it.
Well, let's talk about robbery. In the book of Malachi, it talks about, will a man rob God? It says, yea, ye have robbed me in your tithes and offerings. You know, that's where you rob. That's where robbery is.
Man, let me tell you something. I really don't even believe in the 10%. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I think that was man-made. You feel me? Because back then, when they came up with 10%, ain't nobody had jobs. So where the money come up with 10% at?
Who told you folk didn't have jobs?
What job was? Everybody paying everybody with apples and oranges and bananas.
They had jobs. They had livestock. They had
what black folks you know had livestock?
Don't have to be black.
They had a half a pig with one leg.
Don't have to be black folk, but black folks had livestock all throughout.
The ones that had sense. You probably had it.
Well, let me share.
I didn't have it.
Let me share this. Let me share this with you because I'm not gonna go back and forth with you about some money because the church is well taken care of before you came. We're trying to allow you to be blessed because the blessings of the Lord, according to you,
giving my money away, Pastor ain't gonna bless me.
Okay. You're not giving it away. You're doing what God say do with it. You're not giving it away.
You got a chair and a desk in here too?
I don't need nothing to tell you the truth.
Let me share with you what happens normally when people don't tithe. When people don't tithe, normally they'll end up being sick. They'll take it to the doctor. They'll take it to the dentist. And
that's why I tithe.
Because God is going to eventually get his.
That's why I tithe.
Yeah.
You know, I think
give it to him. He's going to get it some way. Somewhere. Car breakdown. Hospital, child.
Well, I bought the car from you.
Where? Is it still up?
Yeah, it's still up.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, it shouldn't break down. I bought it from you. You once sold me the car.
You had to put
y'all is a part of all my life. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, you had to buy new tire for that car. Quit lying now. You had to buy new tire for that car, and you had to buy
I ain't talking about that, Melissa. Stay out of grown man. But you shouldn't even be in here talking about my money. No way.
Your money is our money. I
see.
I put that money there for you and
now,
me.
The part with me grabbing the collection box, I'm sorry, but some had went in there that belongs to me. And it took everything in me not to go in that box.
What you're saying, you just want it changed.
Exactly. And everybody walking around acting like there's no change to be given. You know.
No.
So, you know, I wanted my change. I wanted my change. Yes, I wasn't finna put no whole $100 and I ain't got but $100
left.
We don't give change back.
I know it. Y'all look like y'all don't get change.
I talked to you about that Sunday before last. We don't give change. When you stick it in that box,
I didn't stick it in there.
Well, when your wife stuck it in there.
Well, that ain't my hand.
And let me.
And I feel like I got robbed. I started calling the police.
Let me spray some right now, brother Terry. That's my sister. Don't be talking to her like that. I don't refuse. I hate that. I've been listening at you talk to her all type of ways. Don't do that no more. You gonna have to speak to me personally.
That's his sister.
See, folks don't say that stuff you do at the house. You come to the God house.
At the house.
No, that's his
I must be sitting there. It must be look like I'm sitting here doing jumping jacks or something.
Well,
ain't no current me. What you saying to me? That's your sister, but this is my wife, and I'm the man of mine. I pay the bills of mine. I hate we having this conversation in church, but you brought it to my attention. You need to let me know when you pull up next time at my house.
When money go in that box, I put that money there for you.
You not need to say nothing else today.
Hey,
to me,
Terry. Now I'm not gonna listen at that no more.
Cause you gave these folk my check stub.
Hold on. Don't do that no more. Please don't do that.
Y'all looking like too.
Yeah, we do. We supposed to. We family.
You'll catch it later on.
Later on. I see we need to speak to each other on a personal thing.
Yeah.
See that.
Yeah. With white beaters on.
Okay. So I played that because I was done with what I had to say. I was totally done with what I had to say. And I know this was like, I went in, I get it. I went in. But for him to be that adamant about getting his money, I just felt like, man, I've been there. I've really been there. And I needed that laugh, man. Y'all don't know. It's a crazy morning. I needed that laugh. I gotta get ready to go get my grandson so we can get a haircut. I'm gonna get a haircut too today. I haven't gotten a haircut in a while. So I'm gonna get a haircut today. I'm gonna actually let him shave it, let him, I got a little length here finally. So I'm not gonna cut all this off. I'm gonna keep this going, I'm not trying to do like the Santa Claus thing or anything like that, but it's just growing. So I just was tickled. And a shout out to my brother TJ from Chi-Town, real brother out there, real Freeman, doing his thing. Skilled trades brother. He be taking them videos when he be on the job, taking them pictures and be cracking me up. He be looking like he's sick of it, but I know he ain't sick of it because he makes a good earning, a good living at being a skilled trades person. And that's a beautiful thing. Shout out to the brothers that I was talking to. Saline area, Chelsea area. We're going to be doing some things because I already told you, I'm not getting into this whole realm to just do this. I got to be out here. And if I don't ever get back into coaching or anything like that, because I deal with people, deal with their kids and whatnot, those kids grow up and they become young men and young women. And I want to help people and I want to help young kids get to the places that they need to. And the only way I can do that is help them to be substantive out here, so every kid's not going to a PWI. Every kid's not going to a HBCU. Every kid's not even going to go to a trade school. But if they have the opportunity to become apprentice with some skilled tradesmen out here, and I've already got the link out and people have responded and it's been great. And I said, you know what? I just wanted to put a bug in your ear. I'll be at you after the holidays because I know a lot of stuff shuts down here in the month of December. So I'm going to let people be, but I said, be ready to hear from me. That first week in January, I'm going to have kids that I'm going to need to put in your midst. I'm going to have children that I need to put in your midst so you can help these kids gain the knowledge and get the skills to be able to move their needle once they get out of high school, Some of these kids have been in and out of facilities. I don't want to see any return visitors. I don't mind you re-entering society if you've done something wrong, but if you're going to re-enter society, re-enter with a purpose. Re-enter with a purpose. So that's what I'm about, y'all. That's what I'm about. But for everybody that's checked this stream out, I appreciate you so much. You know, we talked about the Smiths today. We talked about the Smiths. And where this was the more humorous part of the stream, hopefully you understood where I was coming from and why I talked about these individuals today. It's the reason that I do the things that I do, because I'm not a newscaster. I'm not somebody that's trying to give you something that you haven't already heard, but I have to give it to you from a real perspective. And the perspective that's the realest out here is an American freedman perspective. So shout out to all my American freedmen. Shout out to all my people that are not American freedmen. Because I got a lot of people that ain't American freedmen, but they ride with me. Frankly, they ride with me stronger than some of the American freedmen. I guess those are called allies. I just call them friends because I have a hard time calling certain people friends, but I know who my friends are out here. They know that I'm doing the right thing for the right reasons. They don't think I'm doing things because I'm bought and paid for, because I ain't never did shit just for a buck. Although I've been breaking my own buck since I was 21 years old, I ain't never did shit for a buck. Chuck. You got to understand the reason that I'm out here is a bigger reason, not just for $1. Because I could have lived the life of an African-American. I'm trying to tell you, and I'm going to bring this up a lot. I'm going to bring this up a lot on my relationship page. Make sure you subscribe to that relationship, 2 T's, on YouTube. I could have lived a successful life as an African-American, but I wasn't meant to be that. Not that I haven't done successful things, but I'm saying opulence. I could have been marginalized. I could have been compartmentalized, but I could have been opulent. Yeah, my family wouldn't have had to worry about shit. But something in me didn't let me do that. And the reason that it didn't let me do that is because I got Ida in me and I got Clarence in me. Santa Claus to some of y'all. So where I'm at and where I'm going to be is on the front lines to being substantive out here. I'm not for the bullshit. And if you're corrupt, we're coming after you. If you out here lying and doing dirty deeds, we coming after you. Because it just ain't me. As you saw earlier when we were talking about the love stand, it just ain't me. Anybody that knows who curates, who takes care of the love stand, put them in touch with me. I'd love to be able to have them come up and talk. Put them in touch with me and let us know where they're going to be once they have to disassemble. Please put them up on where they can find me. But that's it. That's it. I guess I need some outro music. If y'all want me to sound like I'm a big time caster, let me get some outro music. Should I get some outro music? Let me get some outro music. What's the good outros? Okay, we'll go here. We'll just go back with what we started with. It was an oldie but a goodie. I didn't even go for the track that I'm supposed to have up under my voice because I ain't got that right. And that edit that came through, it kind of sounded slower. Didn't really feel right. No need to explain all that. We getting up out of here. 12:39. I got to be to my grandson in 50 minutes. Y'all be good out here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I'll do what I can. I'll always do what I can. One love.
Don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
What up?